Hey friend, welcome back to Holistic Moms. Today, we're leaning into a topic that we all know all too well. It's what this podcast is based on, stress. Yes, we know this to be true. We know we all have it. But what I don't hear in real conversations with people is them being honest that their stress is leading to their health problem. That there's that connection there, that stress and health connection. Specifically, the way stress is making nurses, healthcare providers, caregivers, moms like you and me, it's making us sick. Yeah, this isn't about just us feeling stressed, but what we're going to talk about is what happens when the stress stays in our body and it leads to chronic stress, because chronic stress leads to chronic inflammation, leads to chronic disease. We know this, but the scary part is sometimes we don't even realize it's happening because we're so used to carrying it all. So we don't see the transition from the stress to the inflammation to the disease. We just know it to be our life. This is what we deal with. And then we have a health issue and we don't see the stress that's contributing or even at the root. So let's unpack this together. And you better believe I've got my own story to wrap it all up. Let's go. Hey mama, are you overwhelmed by your full, blessed life? Do you feel stuck in the messy, mundane middle? Then I'm so glad you're here to take a breath. Hey, I'm Shan Wright, RN, holistic wellness coach, and a mom to four that went from perfectionism, control, and lots of anxiety to intentionally living through simple solutions and so much peace. If you are done with the stressed out life, hot mess express type of motherhood, then heat up that coffee again and let's live holistically well in the middle. Let's go. So I'm going to break this down into 3 ways that we are coping with stress and the effects of it instead of addressing them. The first way is we are ignoring the signals. If you have ever brushed off symptoms like fatigue, bloating, headaches, irritability, you might not realize those are actually stress signals. Here's the science for you, and you may know this, but it's always good to hear it again. Stress triggers your body to release cortisol and adrenaline. That's normal in short bursts. It helps you act fast. It helps you to react to the bear that might be coming, right? It's our stress response, which is so helpful in our body. But when the stress is constant and your body never comes down from this fight or flight, that constant flood of stress hormones creates inflammation. So the hormones of cortisol and adrenaline staying in your body long term create havoc. They're not meant to be there long term. So over time, this inflammation doesn't just make you feel puffy or tired. It sets the stage for disease, heart disease, autoimmune issues. Yes, gut problems, even cancer. So I want to ask you some questions right now. I want you to take a moment of reflection and put these in your back pocket as well for journaling times later or for a stressful day. What is your body trying to tell you that you have been ignoring? What symptoms are arising? What symptoms have become normal, but deep down you know that they're not? What symptoms have you been dealing with that you think this is just part of the season of life, but you don't think a healthy body should have to deal with them? Okay, I want you to take an inventory of your symptoms. What is going on? What signals are you ignoring or have been ignoring for quite some time? Okay, the second way that we are coping with the stress instead of addressing it is what I call the numbness trap. Yeah, for moms, especially healthcare moms, here's what I see. We get so used to serving everyone else that we ignore ourselves. So this is the caregivers, the nurses, the healthcare professionals, the people that I'm talking to that are caring for everyone else 24/7, and we ignore ourselves. And this happens so automatically that you you don't realize it's happening. You are numb to your own signals. You're numb to your own symptoms. You're numb to feeling your body because you are so you're so ingrained in caring for someone else all the time that you don't even know what it looks like, feels like to address your own symptoms. I'm talking about pushing through the stomach cramps, the sleepless nights, the anxiety or brain fog, the low energy that no amount of coffee fixes. This is part of your life because you are caring for someone else all the time. You don't know that this is something that your body wants you to address. You push through these symptoms because there's someone else that needs you more, right? We put ourselves last and we put the other person first, or people. And then eventually we actually become numb because our body is like flashing signals and we're not seeing them. And so then we numb out to those signals. Those alarms, they just don't sound in our brain anymore. We stop even noticing what we're feeling. And it's like a low hum in the background that we just don't even recognize. This numbness is so dangerous because when we ignore our body's signals, we're essentially telling it, your needs don't matter. And it will scream louder until it finally breaks down because the cortisol will continue to pump through. It continually will be on this stress, really burnout curve, like all the way down in burnout. But it's at its max. Like it doesn't know what else to tell you to get you to listen to it. So it's screaming as loud as it can, but we're not hearing it. And this makes me so sad as I say this, but I actually was here. And so I'm going to bring up my story at the end, but I really did notice my symptoms, but then I just said, they're not bad enough. Well, if you keep telling your little signs, like the little stomach cramps here and there, that they're nothing, they do build on each other. They build and they compound, and then it turns into a bigger issue. And that's what happened with me. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But the third way that we are just ignoring the stress and not addressing it is we are chasing symptoms instead of addressing the stress. Yeah, we see the symptoms come and we try to find a Band-Aid. This is what most of us do. This is what healthcare kind of is. So we're kind of used to it as well, is we come with our symptom to our doctor, our Google Doc, whatever it is, and we say the symptom. But we're not addressing the real issue. We're not addressing the root cause. So you got bloating? Here, take something. You got acne? There's creams, there's makeup. You got anxiety? Let's push harder. Let's keep hustling. Or even let's take a pill for that. Like literally there's a pill for everything. There's a cream. Even some of us who are holistic, we may, try something natural, but we're still addressing the symptom. We never stop to ask, what is underneath this? So many moms I coach are chasing the wrong thing. Stress is actually at the root, but we are treating the branches. We're treating the things that we see because sometimes that just seems easier, right? Instead of really getting to the root. So let me get vulnerable here with you for a minute. For the last 23 months, I've been silently suffering with a Candida overgrowth that showed up as major gut inflammation. It sounds bizarre, but I was eating healthy food and taking really good supplements, and actually that made it worse. So I ended up living like when I would eat the junk food, I felt so much better. And so that's what I did for a little bit. But the symptoms were awful. My constipation was unbearable. My skin was breaking out like acne. It appeared to be like acne, but it wasn't. And that was embarrassing. I was gaining weight and feeling more insecure about my body and having thoughts that were so consuming about my body when I was trying to do all the good things. My stomach pain and bloating left me exhausted and ashamed. It even disrupted my ability to tuck my kids into bed at night or to truly connect with my husband. So when symptoms became aggressive, I knew I had to find a solution. And like I said before, these symptoms were compounding. It started off as a stomach ache and not being able to use the bathroom. Then it kept adding on. Things kept getting worse. So here's the truth. My former company's products were not the answer. Everyone else was thriving with these new launches and these new products and losing the weight and feeling amazing. But I wasn't. I needed something different. I couldn't take the Band-Aid, right? I couldn't take the pill. I couldn't take the supplement that was good. I actually had to dig deeper. I went on another holistic healing journey. It was not easy because life was happening all around, right? If we're talking about stress and stress happening to us on a daily basis and stressors are coming in like wildfire and we're like, how do we stop the stress, stop the bleeding, and address the root at the same time? It is not easy. I went on a 5-day fast. I then went on a cleanse, a Candida cleanse and diet. I use supplements that treat the Candida, that actually kill off the Candida overgrowth. I did all the things. I felt better, but honestly, and this took me a little bit to really recognize, just like we're talking here, I didn't feel completely better until I addressed the stress. I actually had a family tragedy and in the middle of this healing from Candida. And I knew in my mind, I told myself, I'm going to fight this in the fall. I'm going to go back to really fighting this issue in the fall because right now I have too much stress in my life, is what I said. But as I was dealing with the tragedy, I actually was focused on reducing my burnout and this trauma and healing from the trauma, which led to all my stress relieving strategies. The silence, the solitude, the prayer, the fasting, the journaling, the movement, the somatic work, everything. I went and did that for a month. And then I felt so much better. Not only did I feel better in my body from the trauma, but my gut felt so much better. The Candida actually got under control. I took away all the supplements that I was taking around the clock for the Candida, like take this one and then 2 hours later take this one and da-da-da. And I actually turned to a new, natural, simple solution, one thing. And 2 months later, my digestion is like clockwork. I feel lighter and less inflamed. My confidence is returning. I finally feel encouraged about my health again and that I'm not going to be stuck with this Candida overgrowth forever, that I actually think it's gone. And it came from addressing the stress. I was doing all the other right things, the diet, the cleanse, the supplements, but until I addressed the stress, I was still fighting against it. It felt like a long, hard road that I was never going to be fully free of. And now I feel so encouraged that it happened. We got rid of it. And now I feel so good in my body. My stress feels to a point that is so much more manageable, that when I see and feel a signal, I know how to address it, and I can, because I'm not dealing with chronic stress, chronic inflammation, and then literally chronic disease. I'm walking a new path, and I am bringing people with me. If you've ever struggled with the digestion, the constipation, bloating, inflammation, weight loss resistance, insulin resistance, gut issues, skin issues, food intolerances, low self-esteem, or frustration of nothing is working for me, I see you, because this was part of my story too. And now I know confidently how to help you. I am a nurse coach that is really helping people find the root cause of their issues, their symptoms, and we're addressing the stress. We're decreasing the stress. We're using my strategies and this deep coaching to really uncover the roots, dig down to the roots, not just deal with the branches, and address it and heal from it. So, where do you start? Okay, there's 3 steps you can take this week. First is notice your stress signals. Keep a journal for 3 days. Every time your body feels off, write it down. Don't judge, just notice. Be aware, be curious, have curiosity of your own body, your own holistic body, and just write it down. Write what you see, write what you notice. Number 2, check in with your nervous system. At least once a day, ask, am I tense? Am I shallow breathing? Am I present in this situation in this moment? A deep breath can reset your whole system. A breath prayer can really get you back recalibrated. But I want you to check in with your nervous system. Ask it questions. And then number 3 is what I was getting to. Don't suffer in silence. Stop suffering as the caregiver and ignoring you so you can care for others, because you actually can't care for them the best that you can when you're actually suffering in silence, when you're ignoring, when you're numbing, when you're doing all these things, chasing your own symptoms, popping a pill, and then going to care for someone else. You're not caring for them the best that you can. So I want you to reach out to me, a coach that can help you. Stress loses its power when we bring it into the light. So I want you to book me for a free stress assessment call. We're going to assess your stress, find out where it is, the root of your stress, and then I'm going to coach you through the healing, the next step that you can take on your healing journey. You can do that at bit.ly/stress assessment call. Complimentary call, no strings attached. I want to help you see and stop ignoring the stress that's underneath all this chronic disease, chronic inflammation that you've been walking around with. This first step in the healing journey is being self-aware. What is going on in your body? Take a minute, take a walk, and just ask God, reveal to me all that I've been just numb to, ignoring, chasing, and help me see it. Help me see it so I can address it. When He reveals it, this is what He wants to heal. If He is revealing it to you, He brings it into the light, He wants to heal it. You then have to partner with Him. You have to take the next right step, which a next right step would be to book that free call with me. Let's do this together. Friend, chronic stress doesn't have to ruin your life. It doesn't have to run your life. You don't have to live sick, tired, bloated, or even burn out. Healing is possible, and it starts with noticing, listening, and then choosing to make a change. If nothing changes, and actually it just gets worse. So I hope my story gives you permission to pay attention to your story. I went those 23 months, well, really I went 18 months without doing a single thing. I let the symptoms compile. I let them compound because I was caring for my family. I was busy working for my family and taking care of them and their problems and their symptoms and their issues, and ignoring my own because it wasn't big enough until it got too big. Okay? This is your permission to pay attention to you for a moment before it gets too big. And if it's already big, now's the time. You're not alone. You're not broken. And you are created for more than survival. Until next time, I want you to take a breath, give yourself grace, and remember, healing starts with listening. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me @TheShanWright. so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.